How's it going?
Good.
All right.
All right, it is 6 o'clock. We'll call our meeting to order. Mike, would you please lead us in the flag salute when the flag shows on the screen?
Yes, honored. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mike. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Glazzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Stanfield,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent,
Here.
Mayor Long.
Here. Thank you, Buffy. Now is our oral comments from the public, but I don't think anyone has joined us. Buffy, if they do, you can just give us some kind of signal and we'll go back to them.
Okay.
We have 13 items on our consent calendar, including city council minutes, the admin department monthly reports, and all the reports from community development, finance, parks and rec, police, public works, River Lodge, report of disbursements, a biennial review and amendment to the city's conflict of interest code resolution 2020-28, approved police chief Casey Date as an authorized signer for the city of Fortuna with US Bank, authorize an increase to the construction contract with RAO for the South Fortuna Elementary Safe Routes to School project, approve reappointments to the Fortuna Business Improvement District FBID Board of Directors. Does anyone wish to pull anything?
Number 11.
Anyone else? All right, Tammy.
On number 11 for the signers on the resolution or the part that we're approving, it doesn't say to remove the temporary one. So I think that needs to be added to remove the temporary signer.
Aaron, do you have any comments?
No, I think I included in my description that we were removing the Deputy Public Works Director as the check signer as he was added temporarily while we were down a chief. And so now that Casey Day as our new chief is being added, we can go ahead and remove Deputy Public Works Director. So it kind of outlined that in the staff report, but I think it would be good to go ahead and add it to the end of the staff recommendation or the subject line and say approve Police Chief Casey Day signer for the City of Fortuna with US Bank and remove the Deputy Public Works Director.
Okay, does anyone have any other comments?
Okay,
right.
with that, I will approve the consent calendar.
As amended,
Yes, as amended.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Buffy?
Councilmember Glazzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Stanfield,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent,
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Thank you, Buffy. Our first item of city business is to authorize an allocation to hire a part-time custodian and amend the organizational chart to reflect the change. Staff report, please.
Yes, good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council. I'll go ahead and present the staff report, and then we have Bob Natt, our General Services Superintendent here, if we have any questions at the end for you guys to ask. So staff received 2 quotes from local businesses to have custodial services performed at 4 locations. Those were the City Hall, the Patrol Operations Division, which is the new police building, and then the administration building and the police department. In the past, we have had our facility custodian do the River Lodge, but since we are not doing any, we're not renting that facility out right now, we did not include that in the quotes. And so you can see the first quote we received was from Restive, and that total yearly service came to about $55,000. And the second quote we received was from A1 Cleaning, and their yearly service was going to cost about $40,000. And so we went ahead and also figured out what it would cost to have a part-timer in that position. And it would cost about $20,000 annually. If you'll remember back when we were doing the budget, we had a full-time position allocated in previous years. We went ahead and removed that position from the budget since that position was vacant. And we thought we could get those cleaning services done from a third party for less than it would cost to pay a full-time position. And what we found is that it would cost potentially a little bit less than a full-time position, but it would cost more than a part-time position. And so what we're recommending with this staff report is to allocate a part-time position instead of doing the third-party professional services agreement with one of the two places that we got quotes from. And our thinking with that is, one, that it's a little bit less expensive, and two, that we would have a little bit more control as far as who's cleaning some of our more secure areas like human resources, where they have payroll documents and so on and so forth. So under the financial impact, a part-time facility custodian will cost approximately $28,000. We did have $25,000 in the budget for professional services. And so we are including in this staff report, we're going to use that $25,000 that was originally allocated for professional services for part-timer. We think that we'll have a little bit of salary savings, so we won't need that additional $3,000 this year, but just moving forward in future years, it will cost about $28,000 for that part-timer. So with that, staff is recommending that we authorize an allocation to the org chart for a part-time custodian. And if there are any questions for Bob or myself, we'd be happy to answer those.
Does anyone have any questions for Aaron or Bob?
Just one, just making sure that the 25,000 this year, 28,000 ongoing includes the fully burdened rate with the even part-timers get, what is it, 4 hours a year of sick leave. That's included in everything in that? Yeah,
so they also get, the city pays into their part-time retirement account as well. So that is included. Their sick leave is included. And then their workers' comp rate is included as well into that 28,000 moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have a question. When the River Lodge and Monday Club are able to be rented again, will this part-time one be able to help out there too?
I think that's something that we'll kind of see as we move forward. I know, I'm sure the General Services Department would love to have that position go back to full-time at some point. But I think for the time being, or for at least the rest of this fiscal year, we are more than prepared to move forward with just having a part-time in that position. And the way we have it budgeted is 29 hours a week as a part-timer, and we think we can get all our facilities cleaned in that amount of time.
Thank you.
Anyone else? It's hard to take public comment on these Zoom meetings, but if anyone does call in, Buffy, just please give us a signal in. The public is definitely welcome to follow the Zoom instructions on the screen or wherever they are. And if there's no more,
we have somebody that did a call in, but they're not asking to speak. They're just listening.
okay. If that changes, let us. All right. So with one motion.
I make a motion, we authorize staff to allocate and hire a part-time custodian position and amend the org chart to reflect the change.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, Buffy.
Councilmember Glazer,
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent,
Yes.
Mayor Long,
Yes. All right, our next item is to approve application for statewide park development and community revitalization program grant funds and authorize the city manager to be the signatory authority. Resolution 2020-20. Staff report, please.
Good evening, City Council and Mayor. So we have yet another opportunity to apply for the statewide park development and community revitalization program grant, otherwise known as the SPP grant, through California State Parks. We did apply for the project. We were not successful in that grant, but here we are. We have another opportunity to apply. The great thing is in this final round of SPP grant and funds being available is there's $140 million more available than there was in the last round. So the last round, there was $235 million available. Only 10% of applicants were funded from that. And so this round, there's $140 million more, which is good. A lot of those other entities that were granted those awards are no longer competing for this, so there's a little bit less competition, so I'm feeling our chances are good. So just to kind of refresh everyone's memory, I made a presentation last year to City Council, but for those members of the public who are listening in, this would include acquisition of an 8.4 acre parcel adjacent to the park, and adding some recreational features to that 8.4 acre parcel, including a skate park, an ADA walking path, a picnic area, cook shack with bathrooms and parking. And then the rehab of the existing park would be add additional parking. That trail would encompass the entire park. And then rehab our fields. Our fields, as everyone knows, stay pretty wet in the winter, so there's some field work that would need to be done. That's the grant we'd be reapplying for. Luckily, all the grunt work has been completed at this point. We did hire Greenway Partners in that last round as our consultants and to help us with the public outreach piece and the grant administration. So basically, we're going to be able to utilize most of the information from the last grant and resubmit that, just making some fine tuning and some improvements to the previous grant. So this resolution, basically, just to review the summary of my staff report, is the means by which the city shows it's aware of all the terms of a contract, because basically we'd be entering a contract with the California State Parks if we are awarded the grant, and showing confirmation that the city has the funding to complete the proposed project if the grant is awarded. And I spoke with our finance director this morning just to confirm, as we did last time, that we would have the funds to complete this project due to the fact that it spans out over time. The completion date of the project, if we were awarded the grant, wouldn't be until March 2025. So that'll help us kind of span out those invoices that we would send to the California State Parks for reimbursement. The second thing that the resolution does is it designates the city manager to represent the city on all matters regarding the application of the project. So basically, city manager would be signing off on the application and then throughout the process, signing any documents from the state. As far as the fiscal impact, as I mentioned, we won't at this point need to be utilizing any consultation services. So it'll predominantly be city staff, mostly myself, a little bit of help from the deputy city engineer, Brendan, and some work from Merritt as well. So again, the project that we're proposing is a $7.5 million project. And entities can apply for a minimum of $200,000 to a maximum of. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer those questions.
So it's due in December, and do you know when we're here, whether we get it or
Yes,
not?
we should hear. They say next summer, although they said that last time, and then we didn't hear till the late fall or winter. So I ought to anticipate, even though they say summer 2021, we may not hear again until probably fall or winter
Okay.
of next year.
No other questions? All right, do we have a motion? And again, Buffy, if anyone calls in, just let us know.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2029 and read by title only to authorize the city manager. Wait a minute, am I on the wrong one here?
Nope, you're on the right one.
Okay. And authorize the city manager to, as the signatory my computer's all blurry. Read the rest of the motion.
Authority, that's all it says.
Okay.
Motion.
Was that a second, Dean?
Yes.
Okay. We have a second.
Okay. Resolution 2020-29, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Fortuna approving the application for the statewide Park Development and Community Revitalization Program grant funds and authorizing the city manager as the signatory authority. Councilmember Glauser,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Stanfield,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Trent,
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Thank you, Buffy. All right, moving on to city manager's report. We do have some dates. Aaron, were you going to go over those?
Meeting dates. We have our next city council meeting on Tuesday, September 8th. Monday is a holiday, so we'll be doing it on Tuesday. And then we'll have another meeting on Monday, September 21st. Our upcoming planning commission meeting dates are Tuesday, August 25th. We'll have an upcoming Measure E meeting on Tuesday, September 15th. And at that meeting, I'll be presenting to the Measure E committee how fiscal year 1920's expenditures have ended, minus potentially a few year-end adjustments that will need to be made, but that should be a good information meeting for those members. And then upcoming Roanoke Community Recreation and Park District meetings. The next one is on Wednesday, September 2nd. And that is all I have for the city manager's report.
Thank you, Aaron. Anyone have any future agenda items? Hearing none, we'll move on to city council reports. Dean, are we going to be able to understand anything you're telling us?
I don't know, but I'm gonna try. When are the political signs going to be allowed to be posted? Is it going to be 60 days before the election?
When are political signs allowed to be put out? Is that what you're asking? 60 days before the election.
It's going to be 6 days before.
I didn't hear that. 60
All right,
days before 3rd.
It should be the same as county, so I do need to find that out so people are allowed to put a national and local campaign signs.
Asking if it's the same as the county.
Right.
It is not. The county is sooner than ours. I want to say they're 90 days and
Okay.
the city is 60.
All right. I'm hoping for a fast recovery for the city manager neither day, and that he had a fast recovery and needs to come back. And last, because of this sound problem, God bless America and God bless our troops. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Mike?
Well, with the COVID stuff here lately, it's been kind of skinny. No HCOG meeting last month. We do have one coming up Thursday this week. I did go by, talk to Alex, and she's working, getting the museum ready for whenever we can reopen and keeping things in good shape. I dropped off a couple of things for their kitchen display. Up with the new chief, I did get a chance to sit down and have lunch with him the other day and talk about things and get a chance to meet him. And he's a Harley rider, so I'm looking forward to maybe going for a ride. But looking forward to also, we have the Redwood Division meeting coming up in September. And I don't know if you've all got a chance to RSVP to that, but that's due, I think, by the 28th of August. So need to get back in touch with Sarah and RSVP for that. And that's about all I have to report this week.
All right, thank you, Mike. Jeremy? You're on mute, Jeremy.
Thank you. Sorry, but
I could see
they're just flapping, aren't they? Fortuna Business Improvement District Director wanted me to remind the public, the business owner community, that she still has personal protective equipment available at the Money Club, hand sanitizer and masks. And on to gratitude board members in consent agenda. We approved Josh Mariglia and Bailey Davey as FBID board members, and we still have one vacancy. So if anybody's interested in participating with FBID, please submit your application to the city clerk. Parks and Rec, we did meet via Zoom. It was a lot of information provided by our Park and Recs director, Cameron Mall. All the commissioners were very appreciative of his in-depth reporting on all the things that are going on outside of the norm, which are, we're not playing softball, we're not skating, and we're not having rentals at the different facilities. But I'll tell you what, these parks people are working hard behind the scenes, keeping our streets safe and our lights on and our hedges trimmed and our trees safe from falling branches, and on and on and on. So appreciate Cameron and his staff. They did have one business item that was regarding grant funding for, I'm trying to find it here in my notes. And Cameron, you can chime in if you want.
68 per capita grant funds.
Yeah, so each entity, for City of Fortuna and the Rona Recreational District, were each awarded $177,000 for parks acquisition funds. So, and I think that's something we can reapply for again for next year. So, other than that, I'm sorry, Chief, I've missed the last chance to have coffee with you, and I miss everybody in person. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeremy. Tammy?
Okay. The Chamber Art Committee program had a ribbon cutting for their second art pole down at Strong's Creek Plaza today. It was painted by a local painter, Penny Frageau. And it's actually a pretty nice one. It's kind of over by the corner there where the clothing store and the restaurant is, right in there. So if you have a chance, stop by and look at it. And Coffee with the Chief this morning had a couple little glitches, but they got it going. It was nice. Officer Frank was on there, our school resource officer, which she's been extremely busy lately doing a lot of good things, and she's got a lot of good programs lined up to do. And Lieutenant Eberhardt was also on there. It was nice that Chief had a couple of our officers on there. It's nice for people to actually get to meet some of the officers too. So I watched that later after it was recorded. So it's actually on the police Facebook page. So if you want to see Coffee with the Chief, just go on there. And I believe he's going to be doing that every month, aren't you, Chief?
Yes,
Is it every
ma'am.
month?
And we were just basically trying to do something different by being in the park. It's one of those days where stuff didn't work out, but I think we got the message out there, and we will be doing it once monthly.
So anyway, it turned out really good anyway.
Thank
And
you.
I did get to attend. Most of the council, I think, was there. The official chief pinning, which was nice. We got to meet Chief's family. Got in good with his mom in case there's any problems with him. We can get that taken care of. And there's a chamber mixer this Wednesday via Zoom, and you can go on fortunachamber.com to register for it. It's hosted by Hops and Humboldt, and they'll be doing a few games and some prizes, stuff like that. So if anybody's interested, you can pre-sign up so you can get in for that. Or get in that. There'll also be a 50-50 drawing and for prize. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Tammy. For city council paperwork to the Office of Elections, as well as Measure G information. The argument for Measure G went in and it was signed by 5 people. It was signed by, which is the maximum amount of signatures that you can have. So it was signed by myself, Shannon McWhorter, Robert Johnson, Marcia Hayes from the Senior Center, and Sandy Peterson. So those are our 5 that signed on, that hopefully have enough name recognition and backing to help us get that through. We will be looking for community members to be on our committee, and we'll be looking for fundraising. So all that is going to be happening really soon. We have a Parks and Rec Commission opening. Apparently one of our members has resigned, so we are taking applications for that. If anyone would like to go online, I think they're online, aren't they, Buffy?
Yes.
A page. Okay, so you can go to the Friendly Fortuna website and you can get applications and send those in. We have a mayor select committee meeting this Thursday. We are going to be picking a city representative for LAFCO to replace Paul from Arcata. And Merritt did check in and he's doing well. So he's already ready to be back to work, but obviously that's not quite happening. So anyway, I think that's it for me as well. So
I got one thing.
Sure.
And Cameron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is Tony's last week.
That's correct.
And I walk in the park in the morning, and I got there while they were still setting up, and she said, "Yeah, this is my last week," because I thought last week was the last summer fun, but it's this week.
Yep.
So
Tony Wilson will be retiring from the city as of this Friday, the 21st, which is the last day of summer fun in Kitty Camp. So hopefully everyone can get the opportunity to thank her 18 years of service to the city and the youth in the community for all the programs and all the children that she's nurtured throughout the year. So definitely sad to see her go. And if you get the opportunity, come by and wish her well. We will be having a little pizza luncheon at the final day of camp. Social distancing is required, but if you wanted to say goodbye, you could always pop in Friday at noon.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, anything else? All right, hearing none, we need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Stay
Thanks.
safe.
All right. Thank you.